Hey guys, it's Sarah with Find Your Strong with Sarah. Good morning. We are going live really quick to talk about my free online nutrition challenge that starts tomorrow. So today's the last day to register, and the registration information is in the description of the video. So I just wanted to go live really quick to talk about exactly what I'm going to be teaching. So I'm going to give away some of that information to you right now and give you a better idea of the philosophy and the approach to moderating our nutrition. And if it's something that you're interested in, you can still jump in. There's still time. So tomorrow marks the first day of of 5 days. We're going to go live Monday through Friday in a closed Facebook coaching group where I'll be coming on every day to deliver one component of a 5-pronged approach to moderating our nutrition. Not just moderating, but we're gonna dive into 5 components of nutrition and eating that are critical in order to find a healthier way to eat. The first thing that we're gonna talk about on day 1 is staying satisfied. So a really common thing that people do with diet and nutrition is they adapt a lifestyle of eating foods they don't enjoy, or being really restrictive, not going out to eat, not going to happy hours, not eating dessert. So we adapt this lifestyle that doesn't really satisfy us. And so we're constantly feeling deprived, and we're constantly feeling like we're missing out. We're constantly feeling like we're having to white knuckle and restrict ourselves. And in the long term, it's not sustainable. So it may be appropriate for people in the short term. They may get benefits from it by losing a couple pounds, losing some weight. But eventually, either a week or 2 weeks or a month, a couple months, 6 months, a year later, the other end of the deprivation is going to drop out, and we're going to just say fuck it, and we're going to start eating whatever we want. So by choosing not to stay satisfied, we are setting ourselves up to fail in this nutritional framework. So the first thing that we're going to talk about right off the gate is how to stay satisfied. What does that mean to you? How do we determine a satisfaction factor with all of our meals? And that is a driving force for eating on the day-to-day, every day, satisfaction first. And I'm also going to tell you how to moderate that, because for some people you may be saying, well, shoot, like cake and a bottle of wine and half a pizza every day is satisfying to me. And this program may not be for you if that's where you're at still with your eating. And that's just being very transparent and realistic. This is for someone, this program is for people who may already be eating semi-healthy or really healthy, and they're just trying to take their moderation and their satisfaction and their results to the next level. Okay, so if you think pizza, ice cream, and wine every day is a satisfying meal to you, you can still get some benefits from this program and some information, but you may have a little bit of time before this is really for you. This program may not be for you. So we're going to talk about really understanding what is a satisfying food. What's a satisfying meal? Steak with vegetables and some butter and a glass of wine is really satisfying to a lot of people. What we don't want to get into the habit of doing is, what we want to get into the habit of doing, actually, let me back that up, is paying attention to our body and listening to what our body feels and tells us as being satisfying. So going back to the person that likes the pizza and the ice cream and the bottle of wine every day and finds that satisfying, what I would ask and have them start paying attention to is, how does your body feel after or while or, leading up to eating that? Does your body feel healthy, light, satisfied, fulfilled, or does it feel heavy, bloated, uncomfortable, have to unbutton the top of your pants or even take your pants off and put on looser fitting clothing? So we're going to pay attention to those things and learn how to distinguish between, okay, I used to like eating the ice cream and the whole pizza and drinking the bottle of wine, but listening to, these teachings of this nutritional framework, I realized like I was actually really bloated and uncomfortable, and that wasn't satisfying. So we're not just talking about satisfaction factor being, taste and smells and specific foods, we're also looking for how our body responds to the food we're eating. So that's what we're going to go over on day 1. Day 2, the other component, the second of 5 for this nutritional framework, is savoring slowly, and that also comes in a mindfulness practice. So what is mindfulness? What is savoring slowly? How do you eat slowly? How do you eat mindfully? Tools and strategies for doing all of those things, and real applicable, strategies to start utilizing right away. So that's day 2. Day 3 is save time. And I want to put parentheses, a modification on this. We're not just going to save time, we're going to save energy. By planning ahead and being preemptive of any curveballs that our week may throw us, we're going to save time and set ourselves up for success in our eating. And by doing that, we're also going to eliminate a lot of energy that we may expend on obsessing and thinking and figuring out and worrying about what we're going to eat, when we're going to eat, how we're going to eat, etc. So in saving time, we're also going to save energy. I'm going to give you strategies to set yourself up for success for the week, how to be preemptive of any curveballs that you may be thrown that are trying to disrupt your, schedule as planned in terms of eating healthy meals or cooking a healthy dinner or going to a healthy restaurant. So that's day 3. Day 4 is surviving social situations. And this is a doozy. And this was the topic I used on the last 2 or 3 live videos I did because they're really big and they were really relevant. I was eating out a lot, and it's like, how do you stay healthy when you eat out? How do you survive social situations? So that's a big thing for a lot of people, especially younger women who are wanting to go to happy hours and go out on dates and be, out and about doing things. There are a couple big components behind surviving social situations that we're going to talk about in the nutritional framework that I'm going to be teaching on Monday, but I'm going to give you 1 or 2 things right now. And one of them is approaching our social situations, meals, and engagements just like any other meal. This isn't like an opportunity to be like, oh my God, I'm going to eat everything. I'm going to eat the worst thing on the menu. And I'm going to have 5 of the most extravagant drinks because it's a luxury and it's a real special occasion. So it's when we approach and go into social situations with that mindset that we do that. So first and foremost, we've got to kind of reshift the way that we approach dining out and being social. For me, it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy, going out with my friends and approach happy hours with enthusiasm and excitement over the menu items. It just means I don't go and eat to the point where I have to take my pants off because they're too tight, because I'm too full, because I ate too much. So that's one of the big components with surviving social situations. And a couple other strategies are, pre-reading menus and getting a really good idea of what you're thinking you want to eat, and then ordering that when you get to the restaurant so that you're not distracted by a conversation, or if you're not distracted by having a couple glasses of wine during a happy hour that are going to impact your judgment to make the healthier decision that you went in there with. So pre-reading menus is a really good idea and strategy, especially starting out while you're building that trust with yourself. Because when we're first getting started on this framework and this approach to eating, it feels really like this isn't going to work because I don't have a piece of paper that's telling me what to do. So what we're really trying to do is build trust with ourselves. So surviving social situations is really an opportunity when we're going to put that trust to a little bit of fire, and you're going to see how it stands out. So what we want to do, especially starting off with this kind of a lifestyle eating approach, is we want to go into those situations prepared. We want to go in with a menu item on our mind that we want to order. We want to go in there with awareness around how we're going to eat and drink and how full we are going into the event. We want to go in there knowing that we're going to eat to 80% full, and we're going to have practiced that throughout the week before, and we're going to know what that feels like so that we can replicate it when we're in this social situation. And we're going to be really present and mindful with how we're eating in the social situation. So if you're sitting there with your girlfriend having, a happy hour and you're munching, that's great. Pay attention to how your body is feeling as you're munching. And social situations are actually a really good opportunity to learn how to pay attention to our body's feeling of fullness and hunger. because, more often than not, we're eating really slow and we're drinking and we're talking. And so we have time to let the food settle in our belly and feel, okay, I'm actually still really hungry. I'm probably like 50% right now. So I'm going to keep eating a little bit more, a little bit slowly, and feel myself until I get to 80, and then I can stop. So that's day 4, surviving social situations. And I'm going to come back to a tidbit about that I started to bring up in there. And then day 5, aptly happening on Friday, is sweet relief. So sweet relief doesn't necessarily have to be a sweet thing for you. It can be whatever relief you need to have in your nutrition in order to stay satisfied. So going back to day 1, stay satisfied. And when I was talking about so many people approach their nutrition and their lifestyle being restrictive and depriving and cutting out the dessert, cutting out the wine, cutting out the butter on the vegetables, cutting out the butter on the potatoes, and they become miserable, and it's white knuckling and it's super restrictive, and you're consciously using your willpower to restrict yourself and tell yourself no. Okay, so we know that doesn't work. We're going to debunk that and just tear it down in this framework and find a new, more sustainable way to eating. And that includes sweet relief. So for me, I know that there are foods in my life that I wrote out on a piece of paper that bring me satisfaction and relief. And they may not be considered the most healthy food. So it's like wine. Obviously, it's not a food. It's a libation. Chocolate malt balls. I love chocolate malt balls. I love cheese, and a couple of other things. So by all traditional frameworks, those aren't like the best, the healthiest. But if I eat a piece of chocolate and a glass of wine a couple days a week, I'm less inclined on Friday or Saturday or Tuesday to eat 4 cupcakes and 3 glasses of wine. So sweet reliefs are like preemptive, favorable goodies. They can be sweets. They can be something that you consider to take the edge off. So when we're eating healthy, all the things that we restrict are usually things that help us take the edge off. So by determining what a moderate, satisfying, healthy version of that food is for you, and incorporating that into our meals and our weekly eating habits, we're going to set ourselves up for more success. Because let's face it, if you come to me and say, okay, Sarah, we're going to start this new diet and we can't have any wine or chocolate on it, I'm going to say, no fucking way. It's not going to happen. Sorry, not for me, right? And if I came to you and said, okay, for the next 10 weeks, you're not going to have any wine, you're not going to have any sweets, no chocolate, no pieces of cake, no bites of cookies, you can't have any cheese, you can't have any of that. If I come to you and tell you that, you're not likely to enjoy what we're about to do. And it's probably only going to last for the 8-10 weeks that you set out to do it. And then afterwards, it's going to be a free-for-all for a good week of all the foods that we didn't allow ourselves to have for the time that we were dieting. Okay, so that's a really restrictive approach to eating, and it's a really restrictive approach to life. I don't know about you guys, but I want to fucking enjoy my food, and I want to enjoy it in a way that is sustainable. I feel satisfied with what I'm eating, how I'm eating it, how much of it I'm eating, and how often I'm eating it. And that is, one of the huge parts about building in a sweet relief or a preemptive treat or a preemptive cheat food. And so that's what we're going to talk about on day 5. And obviously that's one of my favorites. I'm a bona fide. I grew up, hiding candy underneath my pillows when I was a kid. So, the word sweet tooth is real. I love chocolate. I eat tons of dark chocolate now still, in a very mindful way, where the ritual itself of eating the chocolate with the wine is very satisfying to me. And that's also something that we're going to talk about in this nutritional framework, is our rituals around food. And that is around day 1 with satisfaction, because we may find foods more satisfying when we look at the ritual around how we eat it, how we prepare it, or what the meaning of the meal or food means to us personally. So that was a lot of insight into this 5-day nutritional framework. And I want everyone, coffee, it's like 9 a.m. I want everyone to have a really good idea of what we're going to do. I want people to be excited about this. I know I've got a couple dozen women that have registered for it, and today is the last day to register. So I want people in this training who are ready to change the way that they've been approaching their nutrition. Okay. I don't want people coming in here who are, really concerned about, I want to lose this specific amount of weight in this specific amount of time. You more than likely, if you adapt these principles into your eating consistently, you will experience some weight loss to the point where you're going to get to a weight that's manageable. And that's the goal. The goal of this nutritional framework is to get our bodies to a weight that is manageable without restriction or deprivation. And through that, it's going to be more sustaining, okay? So when we restrict or deprive ourselves for a really long time and lose all this weight, we get to this really awesome low number on the scale, and then we're like, well, shit, if I start to eat anything that I really enjoy, the number on that scale is just gonna go back up. And it's a real slippery slope, and so many women struggle with this because we love that low number on the scale. We love the way it looks on the scale. We love the way it looks on our body. We love the way it feels to see that number. It's sexy, it's low. And we then become obsessed with keeping it that number, keeping it that low. When we look at the route that we took to get to that low number and see how deprived and unhappy we really were with what we were eating and how we were living and how we were feeling, we learn that that is not sustainable. And this is a lot of like mind shift work. And we're going to talk a little bit about it in this nutritional program, because it's important. As you can see, I can't even get through this video talking about the 5 prongs I'm going to be teaching without talking to you about this mind shift stuff, because so much of it is about the way that we think and view food. So, we have 5 set days of topics of training where I'm going to give you a very clear outline of what it means to do this, and then how to do it, and implementable steps and homework every day. Okay. But trickled into those frameworks every day, it's going to be some of this mind stuff, because it's absolutely critical. And it's what is the root of nutrition in our bodies and our quest for numbers on the scales and our quest for satisfaction. All of it is deeper than just a diet. And this is super not sexy. Like my business mentor, I love that she also, calls this out in her nutrition program, because she does a lot of moderation. Her name's Jill Coleman at Jill Fit, and she's awesome. And I love the fact that she's like straight up, she's like, this isn't sexy. Like, eating moderately and practicing a nutritional lifestyle like this, it's not sexy. And it's not sexy for a couple of reasons. And the first one being, it's hard and it takes time. And it doesn't just, you don't come to me and I give you this piece of paper or 3 pieces of paper that say, week 1, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Day 2, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. I don't give you this piece of paper that says, do this and achieve this, because that doesn't work long term. It may work for the 4 weeks that you're on this nutritional plan that is restrictive and boring and cumbersome to navigate in a real life, like with social obligations and happy hours and dating, whatever, travel. So, for 4 weeks, you're going to achieve, some weight loss. And then after the 4 weeks, that piece of paper is going to go away and you're going to go, shit, now what do I do? And it's without the framework that I'm going to go through for 5 days, in combination with the mind shift. Without those 2 things, That's what we do over and over and over. I've done it. I've been given a meal plan and followed it for, months and months and months. And then I followed a bulk and then a cut and then a bulk and a cut. And then as soon as those meal plans go away, it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do without this meal plan. So meal plans are sexy because they're easy. And everybody's like, oh, what are you doing? What's on your meal plan today? And you're eating the same foods and you're bringing them to the office and everyone's interested and you're talking about it. And you're like, yeah, I'm on the XYZ, 7-day, XYZ 5-week. And I'm not naming any of these because there are plenty of really great, like 21-day sugar detoxes. Those are all great. And sexy. People want to know. People are like intrigued when you say that you're doing a diet or a meal plan. So that's not what this is. And that's one of the reasons why this isn't very sexy, is because you're not going to have this little piece of paper with all these things to do, to follow in terms of what to eat, what to not eat. Because you're going to decide that for yourself. You're going to decide, okay, these foods are extremely satisfying to me. They're healthy and I'm going to eat these. Okay. That's your choice. I don't know if a steak is as satisfying to you as chicken. Some people really fucking love chicken. Okay. Well, then you're going to eat it. You're going to make the choice because you're going to listen to your body. You're going to listen to how your body feels when you're eating the food. You're going to listen to how your body feels when you've been done eating the food. How do you feel? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel full? Meaning 80% full and like satiated. And you're also going to be the one deciding, okay, what are my preemptive reliefs? What are my sweet reliefs? What are my sweet treats? Is it wine? Is it chocolate? Is it, homemade cookies that have, some healthier variations of sugar in them? With chocolate chips and some protein powder. What is it? Okay. I'm not going to tell you, because if I tell you that right now out the gate and then give you all this stuff that says, okay, eat this, do this, like you're not learning that for yourself. And then you just have to keep coming back to me and go, okay, Sarah, I don't know what else to eat. I don't know what else to do. So through the 5 days of these teachings and laying out the framework for the components to a moderated, satisfying diet, lifestyle, you're going to dig deeper and you're going to do some homework and you're going to do some thinking and some writing and some feeling of food when you're eating it to discover what's really satisfying to you, to discover what is a ritual around making your coffee with the creamer that makes it so that you can have cream in your coffee, because it's a really great way for you to start your day. You love making the coffee and doing the French press and pouring the cream in. Great. Put cream in your coffee. If it's going to keep you from eating like a fucking Snickers bar at the middle of the morning or at lunch, put cream in your coffee. That's not normally allowed on like a restrictive diet, because cream isn't like the best thing for you. But again, it's one of my sweet reliefs that I factor into my day, into my week, and it's there to take the edge off. Okay. So, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you, one-sided, since I'm talking to myself. I know there are people out there. I see you guys popping in and out, which is awesome. Thanks for tuning in on Sunday morning. I hope that this was really informative to you. And again, if you've been anyone, if you're listening to this video, you need to be in this training. There's a reason why you're watching it. And if you know of people that have shared their journeys and their struggles with food and nutrition with you, and that you want to send this to them to support them and give them, this option, that's awesome. Copy the link in the description, send it to your friend, send it to your family member that has struggled with, these things with their eating habits and their lifestyle. And, so today's the last day to register. Last day. Today's the last day. So, don't wait anymore. And we still have spots available. You're going to click on the link in the description and it's going to pop you up. You're going to put in your name and your email. You're going to register. It's free. I don't know if I've mentioned that. This is all free, which is pretty fucking great value. So you're going to register for the video, get a confirmation link in your email, and through there you're going to be prompted to join in like our private coaching group. That is where we'll be delivering this exclusive content and working together as a community to go through this awesome framework this week. The schedule for the live video trainings are also in that closed group. So once you get in there, you'll know how to set your schedule up for the week and say, okay, I can attend these live trainings, or I'm going to have to watch these after they're live. I did do a variance of times of going live to appeal to everyone in all the different time zones. The schedule is in Mountain Standard Time, so we'll be going live according to Mountain Time. And yeah, so that's a little bit of housekeeping. And it's Sunday morning. Everyone's rolling out of bed and waking up, and I hope you're having some healthy, satisfying, fulfilling breakfast, and we will see you in the training. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments of the section. If you have any problems enrolling or going through the registration process, just comment and I'll get back to you. Okay?